Most geniuses build rockets or start an overpriced tech company, but Rick Sanchez takes down godlike beings. So I can't help but wonder, how powerful is Rick C137? Well, in this video, I'll try to figure that out by going over his greatest feats and the moments his intellect really shined. And at his weakest, Rick is already more dangerous than 99% of the multiverse.
I'm not a man. I'm God. You're just made in my image.
You see, unlike you and I, Rick can invent interdimensional travel at his most basic level of strength and hack portal technology. We see him exercise this power in the pilot, where he drags Morty to another dimension to obtain these mega seeds. Then they outmaneuver a bunch of Galactic Federation agents. Rick also showcases insane energy in Rick Potion 9, when he creates a love potion that has the power to destroy the world by turning everyone into Cronenbergs. And after that whole planet was destroyed, he finds a new dimension, buries the Rick and Morty of this new dimension, and never looks back. I mean, this is just another advantage of having access to portal travel. He can basically ruin Thanksgiving, start a war, steal a spaceship battery, force you to subscribe to my channel, then vanish into a universe where he never did it. Seriously though, please like and subscribe if you're enjoying my content so far. It's totally free, but it helps me more than you know. You see, Rick is nothing but a scientific god who takes no hostages. At this stage of his power level, he's not even solving problems. He's basically manufacturing an ecosystem that will solve them for him. This is the stage where he wakes up, drinks something that legally qualifies as industrial solvent, and proceeds to create life. Well, technically not the type of life you think, because while most people fix their car by popping the hood and checking the oil, Rick pops the hood and reveals an entire universe of sentient beings he engineered from scratch, who exist to power his car. This battery is so advanced that no character in show history has ever invented anything close. This single invention makes him morally bankrupt and scientifically divine at the same time.
Class dismissed.
And let's not even talk about the neutrino bomb he built in the pilot episode. This is a doomsday device that can theoretically vaporize entire populations instantaneously, yet he builds one right in his garage.
You know what?
Neutrino bomb armed.
The most insane thing about this level of his power is the fact that he treats apocalyptic weapons the way normal people treat TV remotes. And remember, this is just Rick using 5% of his intellect and power, which means you haven't seen what Rick is truly capable of. But at this next level, Rick is powerful enough to rewrite universal laws.
What the hell are you doing?
Good question. I suppose the answer is, I'm not certain.
Oh no, what are you doing?
I'm not sure. Idea.
At this power level, matter, biology, consciousness, and even the basic rules of things humans are allowed to do become negotiable to him, as he creates gadgets that are capable of destroying the world. Let's start with his freeze ray, first shown back in Season 1, and still one of Rick's cleanest demonstrations of raw, terrifying control over matter. Other freeze weapons in sci-fi movies slow molecules, create ice, and maybe inconvenience hitmen. But Rick's freeze ray turns people into shattering sculptures. Imagine a living creature being frozen so perfectly that the act of standing up or being nudged makes them shatter like glass. The frightening part is Rick doesn't treat the freeze ray like some revered or special weapon. He uses it so casually that it might as well be a bug spray. He even got darker in the Vat of Acid episode when he invented the save point device.
Thank you. You can thank me later. Go nuts.
Best grandpa ever!
That's all I ever wanted to hear.
All Morty wanted was to save a point in time so he could return to it with no consequence. But Rick hands him this device that kills a Morty from another timeline whenever the save button is pressed. Rick knew this, yet he chose to still allow Morty use it, all to punish the poor kid. Rick at this level of power might not kill you, no. He'll just change your physical state because he feels like it. But that's not the only thing he can do. In Season 6's Night Family episode, Rick literally hijacks the brain's sleep architecture, splitting the Smith family into two competing versions of themselves. It's the fact that he sees nothing ethically questionable about enslaving their unconscious bodies to clean dishes. I don't even want to get into other terrifying gadgets like his spaceship security system that literally changes the laws of an entire planet all to keep Summer safe.
What's going on?
I have brokered a peace agreement between the giant spiders and the government. Summer is safe.
All right, I get it.
We're just 2 levels in, and Rick is already this powerful. Imagine what he'll do when we get to the final stage of his power level. But before that, we're now at the stage where Rick bends time.
All right, that should do it.
Whoa, what did you do?
See for yourself.
Whoa.
Yeah, everything's frozen in time.
Let's talk about A Rickle in Time, the episode that broke more viewers' brains than the actual plot. After Rick freezes time for 6 months after the events of the last episode of Season 1, Rick casually handles it like he's fixing a jammed zipper in his trousers. But the real insanity begins when quantum uncertainty splits reality itself, duplicating Rick, Morty, and Summer into parallel space. Every tiny disagreement creates more timelines to the point that dozens of overlapping Ricks, Mortys, and Summers find themselves in one room. Ultimately, Rick is able to get out of such a jam. It's the most Rick thing ever, and we even see him demonstrate such power in Pickle Rick. Despite being a literal pickle, Rick is able to make a mech suit out of rat carcass, and then in this form, take down an entire Black Ops operation. The way he karate chops these rats is just beautiful to watch, and it's not the only time Rick has proved that he can squabble. Rick has demonstrated a level of fighting competence that far exceeds many of his foes. He is shown to be highly skilled at fighting with his mere fists, but has also shown to be very capable with almost any weapon, including those stored within his cybernetic body. Even crazier, his combat skills are far more capable than any other Ricks aside from Rick Prime, as he was able to beat countless other Ricks into submission until they yielded and founded the Citadel of Ricks under his supervision. Bending time and kicking ass is not all he can do at this level of power. Right from Season 2's Big Trouble in Little Sanchez to Season 4's Edge of Tomorty, Rick set up several contingencies in the event of his death. His consciousness will either be transferred into a clone body or manifest as a hologram with pre-programmed instructions on how to resurrect him. And because of this, he is almost immortal. It's also thanks to several of his inventions and his cybernetic enhanced body, which is far more durable than the average human and is able to block what would otherwise be fatal damage. And having such a cybernetic body apparently takes a lot of mental fortitude to be able to control. You can even see this in that episode Jerry enters his mind.
Wait, no!
At this power level, Rick is basically fighting with entire realities, not just enemies, and he keeps winning every single time. In Season 3's Rick Shank Rickdemption, we see that the Brainalyzer is supposed to be the smartest invention in the galaxy, capable of infiltrating any mind. It was designed by the Galactic Federation for criminals with galaxy-breaking IQs. Yet, Rick makes a mockery of this device. He escapes the simulation he was submerged in, hijacks it, rewires his own memories, turns the trap into a weapon, and collapses the Federation's entire economy. Now, you have to understand that this wasn't just an escape. Rick virtually rewrote a whole government protocol with nothing but his brain and fake memories. If you lock up someone in the real world with this level of Rick's power in a cage, he won't even bother breaking out. He would make the cage believe it should let him go. But before you get scared of Rick at this level of power, wait till you see what he does when he's at 100%.
Jesus Christ.
What? You don't believe in God?
But he believes in us, Morty. You know, I thought I was the inventor. But the greatest invention of all is the free gift of eternal life.
You see, Rick moves through worlds, annihilates aliens, destroys universes, and even creates some, all at varying degrees of power. But none of those come close to what he does at full percent power. At this point, the universe ceases to be a location on Rick's map. It becomes something closer to a medium he can scribble on or fast forward through whenever his patience wears thin. Take Never Ricking Morty and Full Meta Jack Rick, for example. These episodes show Rick going past the fourth wall in ways no show ever has. This means at 100% power, Rick obliterates the fourth wall at will. And that's not even the craziest part. Looking at his relationship with the universes, Rick has abandoned entire dimensions. He has lived through a lifetime of refusing to be slowed down by the weight of existence. Even his gadgets understand him better than Rick understands people. The portal gun, for instance, is so tuned to his intellect that it practically knows where he wants to go before Rick is done thinking about it. Maybe the strangest part of all is how calm he becomes at this level. Unlike the other levels we've covered so far, Rick doesn't rush or panic. Because apparently, someone at the top of a mountain doesn't need to convince anyone how high it is. So if you asked me, how powerful is Rick Sanchez actually? I'd say he's very fucking powerful. Pardon my French.